Yeah, well, the Colombian point of view is very clear. This is not our drug war, it's your drug war. And they point to the United States. And they're not entirely wrong. In other words,
Hmm.
if if the market disappeared for this product, which is cocaine, which we manufacture here in Colombia. There's no doubt about that. If that market overnight disappeared, right, we wouldn't be having these problems here, right? And now the problems are more in Mexico and Central America. They're still in Colombia, right? Because Colombia still does produce and ship processed cocaine. The coca leaves and the pasta básica comes from other places, Bolivia, Peru, from the region, right?
Mhm.
So the Colombians have a very different view. They're like, you consume a product that we produce. It's a basic law of economics, supply and demand, and we pay the price with our lives, with damage to our infrastructure, with a war that went on and raged for 10 years from 1984 to the end of Pablo Escobar in 1993. It was a terrible time in Colombia. Terrible time. Pablo Escobar was this figure almost out of a novel, right? People couldn't believe that he emerged, and he was audacious. He was obnoxious. He built his own zoo. We know about that, and he was a caricature of things gone badly in Colombia, and people were afraid of him. He was paying $100 to murder police officers via sicario.
Wow.
He had power. He assassinated a fellow named Rodrigo Lara Bonilla, who was the equivalent of the Attorney General, the Minister of Justice in 1984, and that's when things really fell apart. When Lara was killed in 1984, the country, I don't want to say fell apart. It didn't fall apart, but it realized that this was a problem that had to be dealt with, and that was Pablo Escobar and his henchmen and the drug trade. But the Colombian military wasn't adequately trained or equipped or prepared to fight against him because he had his own army. And so that's what was so crazy about this whole time period in Colombia. And the Colombian people on the streets, and I was there at the time, they were flummoxed by the whole thing. And they pointed the finger to the United States and to Western Europe and to other countries that used the products that they exported.